I've been thinking through ways to respond to the violence that is occurring in our streets, primarily in our inner city streets, and this gun violence, particularly. While I'm for background checks, I'm for getting, more, getting the guns off the street. I'm also really clear that there's a violence of spirit that has precipitated any of the violence that we see in the streets. And that violence occurs with social sin. We often want to reduce sin to what one individual does to another. And that's true. But there's sin that has been kind of industrialized through unjust public policy, through oppression of people. And so while there's this thing around personal responsibility, and I'm all for that, there's a communal responsibility that, because what we've done, we've taken our inner cities and they become domestic colonies, as Dr. King talked about in the 60s. And so when you take all the resources out of a community and jobs aren't available and adequate schooling isn't there, so an individual who's doing the best they can, sometimes it's still not enough because of systems and what I call social sin. So while we want to address the gang violence and even domestic violence, the larger violence is the violence of spirit. And that is grounded in identity. And so as a person of faith, as a person of the cloth, I understand that it's all about identity. And the identity that we have through the Genesis narrative of creation is that every human being is made in the image of God, the Imago Dei. And when we believe that, then that understanding, that anthropology shows up sociologically. It shows up in our systems. And if we're not participating in life-giving ways to ensure the flourishing of human life, then we are contributing to the violence. And that also, by extension, comes back to theologically, to do we believe who we say we are? We need to change public policy on one hand, and we have to change culture. So they both have to occur at once. But we live and die by public policy. So while we pray, we should pray with our legs and go to the state legislature, go to the city council, get body cameras, get all those things done. And also to the people who have the guns and think that there's no other choice. Let's look at getting some GED classes. Let's look at getting some economic management skills and all these things to work in tandem. So I'm excited to be working with this ecumenical body, and you have my support. Thank you.